Welcome to the Money Over 50 podcast, brought to you by Dallas Davison and Michael Hogue from Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. This information is general in nature and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs. Therefore, you should consider whether the information is appropriate for you and your personal circumstances. If you require personal advice, please contact Money Over 50 Financial Advisors.
Welcome to the Money Over 50 podcast. This is Ali, and Dallas has a topic that I have no idea where this is going to go. It's one of those ones, but let's see how it goes.
We discussed before we hit record, I've got to save the file as something, and I said, I don't even know what I'm going to title this, so I'll just leave that and put a placeholder in there. But basically, the premise of what I'm talking about here today, Ali, is I was going to tell the story of Nicola and I just bought a new house recently.
Ah, yes, and I'm sure if you've got long time listeners here,
yeah,
they probably would have heard a few episodes where you were very against the idea.
Just to clarify, I'm still against the idea. I'm getting dragged along unwillingly. I don't want to buy a house. I don't want to borrow it, but I want to stay married.
That's exactly right. So that's right. There's trade-offs there, mate.
It's cheaper for me to own a house than to get divorced. That's the maths that I'm doing. So that's where I'm at. So it was funny though, because we've been looking at houses for quite a while. And there's two things that happen that we laugh about all the time. Is it becomes a big thing. Anyone who's been through a house search, it's like it sort of can become all consuming and takes up a huge part. It becomes a huge part of your life in that search process. And the other thing that we found that was really interesting was that we convince ourselves that once we have this new house, we'll just be better people all around. And we joke about it now, but there's probably an underlying thing where we genuinely go, well, once we get this new house set up, yeah, we'll get things set up so for the kids to eat dinner and not complain. The kids will eat their dinner, and we'll be able to go and walk up this hill, and we'll go and exercise here. We'll join this gym. Like we'll be fitter. We'll be
the things you can convince yourselves.
Mate,
hey,
that was the story we were telling ourselves the whole time of like, once we get this new house, our kids will be better behaved. We'll be like the family out of The Sound of Music, all singing and happy all the time, and kids will never cause us any stress. And then we'll be better looking and fitter and healthier. And
mate, that'll be a hard one for you, mate.
Nicola and I will never argue. We'll just have this relationship where we'd never have a harsh word to say to each other about anything, because this house, once we've got this house, that'll solve all these problems.
Every problem will solved.
Will go away. And then it really hit home for me how much of a joke that is, because we're going through we made an offer on the house, and it was all sort of back and forwards about whether it was going to get accepted or not. It was on a Saturday, and it was, and so I should also, while this is going on, Nicola is now 33 weeks pregnant, and so she was about 30 weeks pregnant at the time, and is still very ill a lot of the time.
Yeah,
so
she
very sick.
Definitely gets the worst of that pregnancy, doesn't she?
Yeah, she struggles. So we're going through this, and it was on a Saturday, and we've gone and looked again, and then made an offer and had the counter, and there's, it's all the ins and outs, and I finally got the phone call from the agent, about 5:00 on Saturday evening, saying, "Hey, great news! I've just had the offer accepted by the owner. You guys are going to get that house."
Yep.
So we hung up, and I looked at Nicola, and we both sort of laughed and went, "Yeah, that's great." And then she immediately raced off to the toilet and spewed. And
that problem is not fixed.
And was violently ill for about 15 minutes, and then went, I feel like I'm going to die. Can you please go and get me a rooster roll combo? So it was like a case study of going, once we've got this house, we got the house within 15 seconds. None of our problems were solved.
Still got the same exact problems, if not a bit more now.
And it was just, it's one of those things where, we joked about that, but there is still a small party that goes, I'm going to get this possession once I've got this. And, that's probably not a fair analogy, because we still haven't moved into the house, and there's all the ins and outs. But I just thought it was within 15 minutes, we've had that phone call, we've solved that problem, all our problems are going to go away. Actually, no, Nicola's violently ill, and I'm trying to bundle the kids in the car to go through drive-through at Red Rooster, and they're crying at me because they don't want to go. And I was just going, within 20 minutes, this problem that has been solved has just disappeared into the back of our mind.
Yep.
And we've immediately moved on to the next problem of what else we've got to do, what's got to happen next, all the rest of it.
It's going to be a hectic time for you too, especially when the new baby's born.
Yeah, that's right. But that's the thing. It's a and we still joke about it now. Like, we're getting the house renovated at the moment, and we still joke about it. It's like, yeah, but we'll do this renovation. Once we get this house renovated, once we move in, oh man, our life, we are going to be just, we're not going to have a problem in the world. And then you go, no, we're going to have a newborn baby. We're going to have a baby that won't sleep, won't eat, has all the headaches. We've got 2 older kids. We're going to have all those things to deal with. But it is amazing how, even though we know that actually isn't going to solve those problems. There will be a small part of us that moves in this new house, and then the baby won't be sleeping, and we'll go, what is going on here? We moved in this new house, and this baby's still keeping us awake. And this other older kid is, cracking the sides because he's tired from a big day at kindy, and this other kid doesn't want to eat, or she's fallen over and busted a lip, or it never ends. And I think that was the joke is not to say don't buy a new house, or in my case, if you want to stay happily married, sometimes you have to do these things, or if you want shelter over your head, sometimes you need those things. But just always remember, as much as possible, when you're doing that if you catch yourself thinking, when if this then that, that's the phrase, the way that I think about it. It's like computer programming. They go, if this then that. If I buy this house, then I will have, my life will be so much easier.
It's so weird. I feel like with a lot of things in our life, we always try to turn it into a magic bullet.
Yes,
always think
100%.
This will fix these problems.
Yep.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. That will not fix it. But we convince ourselves all the time anyway.
Because it's just so much easier than having to go, actually, no, this is just a bit of a stage that I have to go through and out the other side.
Yep.
And so it's funny because while I'm on a roll of telling stories that probably Nick would be embarrassed by, we actually bought a new car recently as well.
Yeah.
And that was another good example of one where we picked up the new car within 2 hours of picking up the new car. And, it was a Kia Carnival, the kid move, it was all, it's got sliding doors. It's going to be easy to get in and get out with kids. And neither of us are really car people. And so we'd less talked about that. But it was still that same thing of once we've got this new car, we'll be able to get in and out easier. And we picked up the new car. Within 2 hours, we were stuck in traffic driving to the Gold Coast, and Nicola had, again, sick from pregnancy, had spewed into a bag. The bag had a split in it. The spew had gone out all over her leg and all over the seat, and we were pulled over on the side of the road trying to clean up the car with kids screaming and crying in the back seat. And at the same time, I'd also, as I went to reverse out, I'd hit a car. So
One, I feel sorry for Nicola because she's been sick. 2, I feel sorry for her because you don't know how to drive properly. 3, I just feel sorry for her because you're going to deal with you every day. Her problems aren't going away. She's with you, mate.
This could be what happens is that we get a new car, we get a new house, and she goes, actually, you're the problem. Maybe she might brush me. No, it is funny, though, because that was one that, like I said, we're not car people at all, so we never really thought that was going to make a big difference to our lives. But any skerrick of this will be nice or this will be exciting, the new car smell was gone within 2 hours. It was the spew smell. And kids and fast food and biscuits that have been crumpled in the seats and all that sort of thing. So I don't really know. I feel like this is not the most uplifting podcast, which is like all of your problems are still going to be all of your problems once you buy those things. And that's the way that we talk about it, like Nicola and I, with those problems, is that if you compare that to some of the things where money can solve some of your problems. So we have a nanny that comes and helps us out. She does some childcare a couple of afternoons a week and lets Nicola do some work. Yeah. And then also, does a tidying up around the house, that sort of thing. And you go, we feel very fortunate we're in a financial position to be able to do that. Yeah. And that actually makes, I feel, like a substantial difference in our life, in our day to day. Yeah. Because it is such a difference in your day to day where we get home from work in the afternoon, the kids are bathed, the dinner's ready to go. It's a really so that doesn't necessarily make us blissfully happy, but it is a lived experience. A lived experience for that week is different. Yeah. Whereas the new car, within within a week, it was just the car.
Yeah.
You know, and within 2 hours, it was the car that had been spewed in, and the kids had, dropped food through and all the rest of it. And the new house will be the same thing. We'll get the handover from our builder, and walk in, it'll all smell all fresh paint, it'll be all great, and all the rest of it. And then within a week, there'll be food smeared into the floor, and there'll be a kid with a drawn on the walls, and something. One of them would have leaned on a tap and broken that off, and all those sorts of things. So
I feel like this is actually probably one of the better reasons why we do work with older people over 50, is that they've tended to gone through that experience and realize actually, no, that doesn't fix any of my problems.
Yes.
I don't need this big house anymore. I don't need this. I'd rather just go enjoy my life and go do some things that'll actually make me a bit happier.
That's a great point, because we do tend to see people on the other end of that. Like we're seeing people often in a simplifying phase of their life. How many times do people go, all I want is to just know there's enough money coming in every fortnight or every week, and I'm not going to have to stress about paying the bills, and that I can, have the freedom to do the things that are important to me. Other than that, like you would have lost the amount of people that have said to me, I could live in a caravan. Okay, well, you don't need to, but that realization of, we get that you leave home, you accumulate all these things, and then your life reaches its sort of peak of complexity and moving parts, and then it's all about stripping away. Okay, well, that thing that I bought that I thought
would be the best thing ever. It actually means next to nothing to me. I'd rather get rid of that and do something that I enjoy and makes me genuinely happy. So we are lucky in that aspect. Of course, there are some that are still in that phase.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one, because sometimes I think that is actually one where I've found that valuable, that conversation with people about their goals. You can go, people will often say, I've got these goals. I want to be able to cut back to part-time work and spend time with grandkids. I want to be able to, leave my job that stresses me out and take a role that's really meaningful to me, and I find really purposeful work. And I want a brand new car. And I'll go, look, I can, and it's sort of almost like a breadth of experience. When we're saying to people, I can't speak for you, maybe that car will make you happy, but I can tell you that of my 100 clients, the ones that have cut back and had more time to spend with family, or the ones that have taken a more meaningful job to them, that has made a substantial difference to their life and to their happiness. The ones that have a new car, they're just driving the car back here in 6 months' time to see me again, and it doesn't change, it doesn't change anything. So you do get good at going, of those goals or of the things that our clients are chasing, and most of the time, if we're honest about it, you say to people, I don't know if that's really going to make a difference to your life. And they go, but I want it anyway. Okay, cool. But just know that when that happens, it's probably not going to make you any happier than you are now. But that's a good point, is that it is a thing that I think people tend to learn throughout their life and in your 50s and beyond. And even if anyone who's listening to this, you see it even more as people age, get into their 70s and 80s. All they want is their health and family and friends around them. That's it.
That's right. I've got an older client, and she's got more than enough money to go travel around the world and she just said, no, I enjoy spending time with my friends, doing this, doing that. There's not much I want to do, and I'm like, okay, easy. That's completely fine.
It makes it easy from a financial planning point of view. So you go,
if that makes you happy, then that's completely fine.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. And a good place to wrap up.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Money Over 50 podcast with Money Over 50 financial advisors. For more information and resources, visit the Money Over 50 website, mo50.com.au. We look forward to catching up again soon.